Hey guys, welcome to today's MCAT question of the day. As always, we'll be working our way through one of the mini MCAT practice problems found at MCATselfprep.com, the home of the free MCAT prep course. I'm Andrew George, a 99th percentile MCAT tutor, and I'll be walking you through today's practice problem as if you're one of my private tutoring students. Be sure to hit pause and try this practice problem for yourself before watching my explanation. To start off answering this practice problem, we first need to understand the difference between a graded potential and an action potential. A graded potential is like dropping a rock in a pond. At the center of where you drop the rock, the waves are going to be much higher than the outer periphery of where you dropped that rock, right? So the further away you get from where you dropped the rock, the waves are smaller and smaller and smaller. That's how it is with the graded potential. The spot where it starts is a very high change in membrane potential, but as you get further and further away from the spot where it started, it decreases in strength. An action potential, on the other hand, it does not decrease in strength over time. It's a membrane potential that's propagated in an absolute fashion that does not decrease in strength. For instance, if a neurotransmitter binds to the dendrites of this neuron, that might cause some ion channels to open. For instance, maybe a sodium ion channel opens, causing sodium ions to rush in. And let's pretend that those sodium ions cause the membrane potential to increase by plus 30 over here at the dendrites, okay? But the further away I get from that spot, the smaller that membrane potential will change. For instance, in this area, it'll probably only increase by 20. In this area, it'll probably only increase by 10. And by the time you get to the axon hillock, it'll probably only increase by 5. And so let me ask you, is this going to cause an action potential? No, most likely not, because in order to cause an action potential, you need to go from the resting membrane potential, which is about negative 70 millivolts, to about negative 50 to negative 55. So we need an increase of more like plus 15 to plus 20 in order to cause a action potential at the axon hillock, right? So let's pretend, though, that this was strong enough and it did give us a plus 15 increase in our membrane potential, causing the membrane potential to go to about negative 55, causing an action potential at this spot, at the axon hillock. That means we're going to get an action potential here. We're going to get an action potential here, action potential here, action potential all the way down until we reach the axon terminals, right? And an action potential is always the same strength. You can't have an action potential that's stronger than another action potential. They always follow the same pattern of going from negative 55 millivolts to about plus 30 millivolts and then back down to what they were before. That's an action potential. You can't have a stronger one where it goes all the way up to plus 60 millivolts or something like that. It's just, that's not how we think of action potentials. We think about them being the same exact strength as other action potentials. And so this here, we talked about, is action potential. This here is a graded action potential. Let's take another look at the question stem. Transient membrane potentials, also called graded potentials, right? That's what we talked about. Graded potentials can occur at which of the following locations? Dendrite? Yes. We talked about that. That's where the graded potential will start, and it'll decrease over time as it travels through the soma. So yeah, soma is also where you might find a graded potential. But the axon, that's where we find action potentials. Therefore, you don't think about the axon as having a graded potential. Therefore, the answer to this question is A, 1 and 2 only. If you liked this MCAT question of the day, be sure to give it a like. And for more MCAT questions of the day, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and enroll in our free MCAT prep course found at MCATselfprep.com. And if you are really looking to maximize your MCAT score, feel free to visit my tutoring profile page and request a free 10-minute phone consultation. I'd love to chat with you about your situation and how you can maximize your MCAT score. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and we'll see you next time.